아, 아, 아. 오케이. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's such a beautiful day. You know what's scary? When you become a mom, the only song you know isn't K-pop or any pop music, it's baby song. There's a song like that. It's called Good Morning Song. Good morning. Good morning. It's such a beautiful day. The sun is out. The birds are chirping. Something something is it helps practice my English. Okay, today's story, since I'm feeling happy, so I was thinking about talking about the happiness of having a child, because I feel like the whole time my stories so far has been, it's dreadful. Why did I do this? I'm dying. I'm barely alive, and I have all these like sleep issues, blah blah blah. By the way, I should alert you guys on Discord, because it alerts people late, right? I should turn off the bot now, because I won't be able to stream ASAP. Let's see. Da 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 da. I'm on. Oh really? I think it's like, oh, you missed the Jinri stream. 진짜, I agree. I should turn off this bot newsfeed. 오늘 아기 잘 자고 있습니다. 오늘도 아주 천사처럼 잘 자고 있으니 방송을 켰습니다. Baby is sound asleep, so I am now streaming. Hello, hello. I'm officially alive and happy. Better. It really was a scary moment, by the way, that night. I ended up calling the aftermath story of that was I ended up calling Mia saying, "Oh, you need to end work early." Luckily, he was able to do that. But he came home, he bought me flowers. He's like, "Are you okay?" So we all, Jinri was happy at the end. Happy. I think it's just a hormone issue. It's actually really interesting that occurred. He was actually laughing when I called him and I said, "Guess what?" And he was like, "What?" And I said, "I think I have the postpartum depression." He was like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Why do people say, is that something to be happy about?" So, morning. Oh, since Leia, you're here, tomorrow I will try to learn K-pop in 60 minutes, but this time we're gonna cut it down to 30 minutes, because I can be sure that the baby sleeps within 30 minutes, or at least to 30 minutes. So I think I'm gonna try to learn a dance in 30 minutes and film it and do that. And then the weekend I can try to edit it while my in-laws are here. I think maybe on Sunday I'll have my mother-in-law visit, so she can take care of the baby while I do some editing. 안 그래도 오늘 그거에 대해서 얘기하려고요. 왜냐면 제가 오늘, 그러니까 제가 출산하고 나서의 제 얘기들이 정말 다 슬픈 얘기들밖에 없었던 거야. 근데 사실 출산하고 나서 행복한 점이 되게 많거든요. So I think today's stream will be another episode of Jinri's podcast. I'm 3 months into my baby, almost 4 months. In 8 days, it will be baby reaching month number 4. I think that's how you count. 맞아요. So my goal for today is let me put on some lipstick before I talk, because I look so pale. I'm trying to tell you guys a fun, like, happy story about having a baby, and I look so pale. I hope by now you guys got used to no makeup Jinri. There are times when I see on Instagram and people look so like fancy and pretty, and then there's Jinri like, "Hi guys." Mama. Oh, it looks natural, doesn't it? It looks like I have no lips on. Anyways, so today's episode of my podcast would be about the happiness of having a child because, as I said earlier, the whole time throughout my podcast seemed very stressful. And if someone were to watch my podcast or like listen to it, they would be like, so why the F did you get a child, right? If it's so painful, so disastrous, so depressing, so stressful, etc, etc, because it's like, you know, problem with the in-laws or problem with family, problem with blah blah blah, and then it's like all problematic, right? So today I'm here to persuade you guys into having a child. I know some of you guys need to go through the marriage step first, or you know, like finding your significant other, but if you ever reach that stage of having a significant other, I think it's important to think about the future of having a child as well. And so let me start off with the bad things that I realized. And it may be long, okay? So you guys can people G and agree with me. So having a child, what sucks is you have no time for yourself. 안녕하세요. 어서 오세요. You have zero time for yourself. You think right now I'm able to stream? It's only last 1 hour. And I mean, luckily my baby is able to sleep on his own fine. We have trained him like an AI model, and so he is happily ever after sleeping. However, guess what? There are some babies out there where if he is put on the bed anywhere flat, he just wakes up. And surprisingly, that was kind of our baby. If he laid on the mattress outside in our living room, he does not sleep. I put him to bed in my hand and then I lay him there and he's like, he sleeps like this, guys. And then the moment I lay him down, he opens his eyes. And it is like the most scariest thing. You know, I don't watch scary movies because of those type of like surprising moments, and it reminds me of a scary movie. His eyes just open. It's very scary. If you guys ever can imagine, it's kind of like a jump scary moment. So yeah. But yeah, baby, you don't have any time. You have no time. Yes, I'm back. There is no time for yourself. So makeup, those will be going into trash. I'm actually thinking about giving away my makeup to my cousin because, you know, like I have no time to put on makeup. And also another thing bad about having a child is you always fight with your significant other. Guess what? Mia and I, my husband and I, never fought as much before, but nowadays we fight. It's not mainly because of neither of our issues. I think it's just because we both are super tired and we're a first-time parent. So just adjusting to this takes a lot of discussion. Nice way of putting it is discussion. The bad way of putting it is why isn't he moving versus why is she not doing anything, right? Especially right now when I'm kind of like a stay-home mom, so I should be doing everything, like house chores and everything. It's not like Mia isn't helping, but there are some times where he's on his phone and I'm like, do you think I have the time to be on my phone? So anyways, so those two. And another bad thing about having a child is, I said time. What's another bad thing that I had it in my mind and I totally forget. This is you know, the after issue of having a child, right? At least for the women, your body is in pain. Some women exercise right after having a child, so it's okay, but yeah, tiredness and forgetfulness, I think that's kind of related to but just you just lose. So the sum of what I was trying to say about having a child is you lose yourself. And so there is no more Jinri. There is more of Mama Jinri, right? So It's surprising, right? It's surprising that I have a child, but there are actually really good things, and that's what I wanted to talk about. So, a lot of people say, actually, one thing that I realized among at least the Korean society is that people really value themselves. So the fact that once you have a child, you know that you're going to lose yourself. And a lot of, especially women, don't want that to happen. Because especially those who are working, you have to take time off. There's no guarantee they're gonna come back. If you have a second child, it's highly unlikely for you to work and take care of two children. I don't know if the company will be willing to give them another off time because of baby, and so it's a lot of losing. But I think it's really depends on how you view it too. I talked to my mom about it, and I tell her, "Mom, I lost who I am. Now people are going to call me Mama." Like in Korea, you identify someone else's mom by calling them baby's name plus mom. So if my baby's name, we called him, his nickname was Namu, right? Be like, "Oh, Namu 엄마." So there's no Jinri, right? So I think that's one thing that they're missing out. But the really good thing about having a child is just this baby is the most precious thing. You just look at it, you guys will understand, because I didn't understand this as well. But just seeing this baby and the baby smile back to you is all you need. All that troublesome of thinking about how you'll be tired, you have no time for yourself, you have blah 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 ABC issues will be resolved when the baby smiles. Isn't that kind of weird? So you're just being brainwashed by this baby, because this baby is like telling you that I am precious and I am everything. So for single people, this does not make sense, right? Doesn't it? Like you mean that this baby will make you feel better, and that this baby is the happiness of like all the stress you have right now? It works like that. It's like magic. You know, the hormones I talk about during postpartum depression, it applies to seeing this baby. It's just so precious. And one thing that I also like about taking care of baby is that the baby works with me very well. I tell the baby to sleep. I'm trying to figure this baby out, right? I tell you guys, he's uneducated. I think of this baby as a computer. I know this is very like techie Jinri, like nerdy Jinri saying it, but it's a computer that has nothing programmed, there is no Chrome, so you have to use the CMD to figure out how to get to something, right? You just think of that, this baby is like that. So you're having fun identifying how this baby works. And so if you kind of like detective shows too, it works like that. I don't think I'm being very persuasive right now on saying why you guys should have babies, but it's just so fun. Like, you hear this baby cry and you can figure out, oh, this baby is crying because he's hungry, or oh, baby's crying because he's tired. There's different cries for that, and it's so fun. It's so interesting, and honestly, I'm enjoying it. So if I have a lot of money, I would be happy as a stay-home mom, just taking care of the baby. And I think that's what a lot of people say, saying that if they have the freedom to be a stay-home mom, to take care of the baby, that's what a lot of moms will choose. Because wow, the moment I see this baby, and this doesn't occur right after you have the baby, because honestly, like I told you during my episode of hospital experience, the moment you see the baby, you're just like, oh my god, how am I supposed to take care of this baby? So half the time I was acting as if I was really happy with this baby, but half the time I was like, well, I wasn't acting, but that's what I felt. But the other half, I was just like, oh my god, I will have no time, and what if this baby cries all night? What if I do this? I think as long as you figure out how this baby works and how this baby Mm. Or why if how yeah, how you figure out the if you can figure out the problem with this baby, then you will enjoy your life taking care of babies. I think that's kind of like the natural thing. Although you will get depression. And also what really worked with Mia and I in terms of taking care of a baby is since we like games, and I wanted to always say this to you guys because a lot of you guys are gamers since I am streaming this on Twitch, right? If you guys like raids or any games like Lost Ark or what's that game that I hated? Oh, World of Warcraft 2 where there's a raid. It's just like that. So imagine taking care of a baby is like RPG. And if you think of that, that was actually one of my biggest energy like gaining mindset that I had was just think of this baby as an RPG newbie who's trying to learn how this RPG works was the whole time I was thinking of. So you know, like I don't know if you guys played Lost Ark, but for me who was a heavy Lost Ark player, I love the raids, I love the characters. I don't play it anymore because number one, money, number two, time, right? I just, you know, like every time I go to a raid and there's a new pattern happening, you're just like, oh, let's figure out how this pattern works, right? It's the same thing with babies. New stage is a new month of the baby. And the whole time, I feel like I'm playing a game. And that's probably why I'm also happy taking care of this baby. But it's really fun. Surprisingly. And it's so precious. You will be really surprised to see how much you fall in love with this baby. And I also am very surprised to see people hating their babies because how can you hate your baby? It has you have your DNA in it, right? So that's a mindset that I get. But I think the most important thing though for at least women to be happy or just an individual to be happy is that your partner has to work really hard for you to. So one thing that I'm very thankful about is that Mia and I talk a lot in terms of how we're going to take care of this baby, what are we going to do, and how I'm going to have my personal life and how he's going to have his personal life, because you can't really be 100% devoted to this baby, because I feel like in the end when the baby grows up I worry that I'll end up being kind of like a helicopter mom, and that's not what you want in the future, right? So me and I keep talking about what at least I can do, because right now I'm the main caregiver. So he and I keep talking about what I can do, and I told him, you know what, I'm gonna go back to streaming. I'm gonna go back streaming. I'm gonna try to figure out something that I can do so that I can match the baby time to my work. And honestly, streaming is the best option for her right now, unless I can start a Korean blog, which I've been trying, but it's not easy, right? Writing in Korean as a person who grew up in US for almost 20 years, it's like, oh, does this phrase work or not, right? But hey, Kuro, thank you for the sub. Thank you. See, I tell you, streaming is the best job to have or to be doing after giving birth. So honestly, a lot of my streamer friends who are single do ask me about that too, since I'm one of those people that's already at the end of like the life chapter, right? I feel like I'm at almost the last chapter. I mean, to be honest, the last chapter is probably sending my child marry someone, but you know, everyone's last chapter is different. So you know, I'm almost at the end. So I have lots of girlfriends who are single who are streamers. You guys know probably some of them. And they question about my life because they wonder why I ended up getting a child, because they already saw how Mia and I worked together, my husband and I worked together, and we were fine. But what made us decide to have a child? And I told them, You know, it's really fun. It's just, I like playing RPG. My husband likes playing RPG. And so we treat this baby as playing an RPG game, and we like to discuss. It does. I know it may differ from other couples, but at least for our couple, we got closer in terms of bonding. We are sleeping separately, so I kind of make a joke about saying, "Oh, it feels like we're dating because we're going to different rooms, which feels like different house, right?" So I always tell him, "You should drop me off to my house this time," you know. But you know, our relationship got much closer compared to other people. We're having, you know, a great time taking care of the baby. We got things covered. We are enjoying reading books, and we end up having this feeling of, oh, this is the start of the real adulthood. And I guess I think that's why we ended up having a child, and we don't really regret it. It's definitely really fun. Yeah, I can see why people will get baby shirts that says level 0 human. It is really like RPG. Yeah, I think someone asked me, being like, how does it feel? And I saw a YouTuber that phrased how taking care of a baby is just like RPG games. You have to work because you have to give your character, right? You have to give your character clothes. You have to level yourself up. I have to level myself up to get stronger. You need the baby items. You know, potions would be like the baby items. And then the boss is just like the month of the baby, right? So in terms of Lost Ark, I feel like right now I might be at Velton stage, because this is like the most peaceful stage. That's kind of simple. There are definitely a bit of hardness to it. So yeah, that's why whenever I compare some type of baby taking care, parenting issues with Mia, I refer a lot of reference to Lost Ark. Oh, what's LFG? Thank you for the 100 bits. Yeah, so I always tell him, you know what, Mia? My friends are at like the last stage of Lost Ark, and they keep talking about the last stage patterns, where I'm just at like Cuckoo Satan. I don't know what's going on, and I have people who's like pregnant, and like listening to their story is kind of boring, right? So it's a very fun experience. So I guess for those who are heavy gamers, I think taking care of baby will work just well for you guys. I think once you have a baby, you will kind of understand. It maybe also can feel like shoot, what is the game like Wukong? What is Wukong game? It's not hack and slash. It's soul-like game. I heard that like people use that everywhere, but just imagine this baby as a soul-like game. You gotta parry, you gotta block, you gotta dodge, but you also have to attack while like, you know, taking. So that's what it feels like to take care of a baby. And so if you're good at that, or any type of raid type of game, then it works. So, and what's perfect about it is Mia was the dealer and I was a support, so we work really well when in terms of taking care of baby. That's why I think our League of Legends score for playing ARAM is very good right now. Surprisingly, we still put in time to play 2-3 games of Lost League of Legends. We cannot play any more story games. We cannot play any more heavy investment games such as Lost Ark. So we were actually thinking of playing PUBG, because that's a game where I can be AFK if the baby wakes up, but we realized that we cannot see the enemies anymore. I'm getting hit somewhere, but I don't know where I'm getting hurt. So we try not to play team games, but if we do, we play with Mia's friend who understands that we have to take care of a baby, so we make a 5-man queue, and we play a lot of ARAM. So yeah, I think that's the happiness. you know, you try to fit in time to take care of this little one, and it's amazing. But I have to say, it's just really precious. I don't know how else I can persuade you, and I don't think I did a great job of persuading, but I think the best way I can put it in is, if you like RPG, give it a try of taking care of a baby. I think it's really worth it. It's definitely worth it. So, and it's fun. It's definitely fun. And the fact that the baby grows up to do different things. My baby is right now doing half a turn. He hasn't fully turned yet. He's halfway. And so every time we see those type of moments, we scream. He's saying more than ah. He actually said ba today. I don't know what that means, but he said ba. And then he's getting close of saying ma. So hopefully he'll be saying mama instead of dada. And he's right now peacefully sleeping, giving me time to do a little bit of my work, even if this is part-time. You know, I'm not getting paid as much, but it's worth it. And I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it. So yeah, as long as I think... So a tip for people who are thinking of having a child in the future is, if you know, the best way to keep everything under control is, number one, talk a lot with your partner, as in what you have to do to make you feel like yourself, because that is, I think, the number one important thing. If you don't have this, then you will end up getting really depressed. I think that's the most important thing. So right now, Mia is allowing me to go swimming. He got a massage coupon for me because I saved up a lot of money giving breast milk. So he said at least that's something that we're trading off of. So those two, and then he allowed me to do a streaming job. He just said that, remember that taking care of the babies first. And I said, well, like, obviously, because I don't think I would be wanting to hear also a crying baby, right? So he allowed streaming, though I try to make in like other content other than baby talk. So now I'm doing K-pop. And what Mia does, he doesn't really do much, but I give him time of, like, he can go out to drink with his friends a bit. I keep telling him to go golfing with his friends so that he can be stress relieved during the weekend, because right now, whenever he comes home, he has to take care of the baby, as in take him, like, he's in charge of shower and everything. So we try to give time for each other to have, and that's one thing that's important. I think having roles is also important of taking care of a child. He does ABC, I do the rest. And what's also important is guys need to figure out how to take care of a baby by himself. I know a lot of women don't trust their husband if their husband sucks. So one important thing is, when you have a baby, you can't be on your phone, and that's, I think, very hard for guys, because they don't enjoy taking care of a baby for some reason. And that was also a problem with Mia, is that I tell him, oh, like, take care of the baby. Well, he like rattles a rattlestick, and then he's like, hi, hello. He talks, but obviously my baby doesn't talk back, right? So he's bored. So then now he's like, baby's like like this, and he's on his phone being like, and I'm like, can you do other things? Like, you can sing to him, but he's shy, right? Guys are shy. Guys don't like singing. Guys, I mean, there's definitely people who are outgoing who will be willing to sing, but you know, if you marry a shy guy, then he'll just be like, sing, you know. And I sing to him. I'm like, you know, I'm like, remember me. He likes Coco song Remember Me. Though I have to say goodbye, me is just kind of like, goodbye. Now he finally understands that he has to sing for the baby to be happy, because he saw the relationship between me and my baby of, when I sing to him, the baby smiles back. So that's something that my husband learned that he's doing. But yeah, having roles in the parenting is, I think, also another important thing. So that's something that guys have to work on. I know that it's hard because you never bear the child, so now you see the baby, but this baby doesn't do anything. It just looks like a burrito, right? So I understand the guy's perspective of what am I supposed to do with this like burrito looking like thing, right? But it just has to come naturally, and that's where the women has to step in, or you know, your other partner has to step in and say, you know, these are some ways to play with the child. So it does need a lot of work. And I think another thing is you really need to study for this. I have never studied this much in my life. I swear to God, I am reading books, guys. I never read books. When I studied for my history exam, that was the hardest exam because I had to read about history, and those never worked in my brain, right? Nowadays, I have to read books. We actually bought a book about things we shouldn't do to babies, like roll him over or force him to do ABCs because of his development. I'm also finding books related to breastfeeding, and those kind of get interesting because if you try certain method and it works, then it's like, oh, then you have to like trust in the books. So I think you need to study a lot, but it's not just you who have to study. Your significant other should also be participating in that. So it's just a lot of team game, and that's why I keep referring back to it's like an MMORPG. It's like Lost Ark. You have to work as a team to defeat the boss, right? You have to work as a team to care of a baby. If there's only one person working, then obviously this baby cannot be taken care of well. Then what happens to the one? You know, you get a lot of pressure, then the person gets depressed, blah blah blah. So it does take a lot of time, but in the end, it'll just be a really fun experience. And I wish people will understand that. And I wish that a lot of women don't find this as sacrificing themselves, because you get more, I feel like, in the end. And the work that you're doing, I keep saying you can always come back and make it better. There are a lot of people who were successful in like mid 30s or even late mid 40s. So you're still young in your 30s and 40s once you know, send your kid off to middle school or elementary school, so that you can start working then. So I think that's kind of like a mindset I have right now, and saying to myself, I can work slowly. Like I've been playing this game that talks about like fun facts about random stuff, and I read how Bill Gates was the youngest billionaire, and he was 31 or 32 in 1991 or 2, something like that. And so if you think about it, that's like 30 something, right? So if you want to be billionaires, like if he was the youngest and he was 30 something, then the real billionaires are probably like 40, 50. So you still have time, right? So, you know, you have to think positively about everything. You have to be very optimistic when you're taking care of a baby, and you will, you know, you will be rewarded, I think, with the child. So I hope that everyone can get married and get pregnant and have a wonderful, you don't have to get married to get pregnant, but you know what I mean. I hope you guys find your significant other and enjoy your life and be happy. Be happily ever after. Yeah. So hope that works. Oh, and one thing that I always wanted to say for you guys is streaming is the best job for taking care of, being a streamer was very helpful in taking care of a baby, because here's the reason. This baby right now does not talk, right? But I have to entertain this baby, right? So it really feels like I'm doing a one-man streaming show. For example, I put a baby in a crib that swings. I have a swing crib, and I was eating in front of him, but he's looking at me. He's wanting some type of action from me, right? And I'm sitting here eating, and I feel like if I don't entertain the baby, he will not learn. For example, if I just turn on TV while eating, that will cause bad habit for the baby, right? Because he will copy exactly what I'm doing. So I was like, okay, no more TV. So, you know, I don't turn on the TV as much, and I have to talk. But I thought to myself, if I didn't do my streaming job, then I think it would have been super awkward talking to the baby, because like I said, the baby has no response. So I just had to sit here and talk to the baby, right? So I'm just eating here and talking to the baby. that's where my streaming ability came out. I am so good at eating while talking because that's what I've done throughout my whole entire career right now throughout streaming. IRL streams. If I take you guys out and I have to eat, I just eat here while talking to you because I don't like the silence and I want you guys to be entertained, not just watching me eat. So I'm very good at it. I eat and I talk to you. And then other things, I have to make him happy. What do? I just dance for him. I'm a one-man streamer for him. So I just did like K-pop dancing. You know, I learned XO. Oh, I talked loud. He heard me. I didn't close the door because I wanted to hear him, but it's okay. But yeah, I learned XO. Da 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 na na na. You know, I learned that dance, and I danced in front of him, and he likes it. He smiled. It's so cute, and I'm like, oh, then I should learn other K-pop dances. So it's really a happy, lucky moment for me to be able to stream, and have the baby enjoy it as well. So I think that's one important thing for any moms who are getting ready to become moms to stream. And now officially my baby did wake up. I don't know if you guys don't hear him. I talk really loud. And now he's angry. Oh, at least it's been 40 minutes. So he slept for maybe like 45-ish. What? Yeah, that's something I wanted to say because I felt like I kept saying sad things about pregnancy and having a baby. So I feel like none of you guys would want to get pregnant later on. I wanted to change that mindset. So I hope this convinced you into having babies. But you don't have to have babies. You guys can always submit your dineros to JinriTV channel. And to take care of this baby. That's so sweet. We're having fun. We're definitely having fun to take care of the baby. Yeah, I'm very surprised. So I joked around to my father-in-law saying, you know what? Parenting really works for me. I think I can have like five children. He was very happy. Mia was not. Mia's really exhausted. His stamina of having a child is... He's dead. So what? That's where my drinking related story will come later. But I had a friend who said, oh, my sister-in-law is getting ready for pregnancy, but I have to remind me to tell about the story later on. But I tell you, taking care of a baby is fun. You know, you hear the baby cry, it sounds like Angel is crying from heaven. Keep crying, my angel. I know, and it's been 1 year. I'll be on my 2 years of no drinking. If it reaches next year January, it'll be 2 years of no drinking, but I think I'm gonna try to break that by December. But I have not drank since last year January. And my college friend told me, Jinri, I am so proud of you because you were so alcoholic in college. And I said, I know. Because every time I finished an exam, I always bought a 6-pack beer and finished that like after exam. So even if the exam was during the day, I just drank and slept. I was very happy. And I was very alcoholic, but that's a different story. Anyways, baby is crying. Thank you for watching. That's why I didn't do good in college, guys. Don't ask me about college life. But anyways, thank you guys for watching today. Thank you guys for subbing. Thank you for your donation. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll do a podcast on K-pop while live streaming there. 저희 내일은 그 podcast 그 K-pop K-drama, K-pop related stuff tomorrow. Yeah, I have to go now. Bye guys. Tomorrow I'll look a little better than this. I'll try to do that while putting the baby to sleep. 여러분 오늘 수고하셨고요. Bye guys.